Alright guys, welcome to my channel and my second channel, that is welcome to the game designing side of my life, let's say. I'm gonna be teaching or helping you guys through getting started with game design. So we're gonna be using the Unity engine. We would have used the Unreal Engine, but I feel like for beginners, Unity engine is better. The learning curve is easier. I myself was self-taught, so that's how easy the Unity engine is to get into as compared to Unreal Engine. So to get started with this whole thing, the things that we're gonna be using, and we're gonna need the engine itself and Visual Studio. So Unity engine, we're gonna get it from here, store.unity.com/download. Then by accepting everything, you can download it right here. So you can hit that and it will thank you for downloading Unity. Then it will just start downloading. Then for Visual Studio, so yeah, I already have it downloaded, but you can download it. I'm not gonna download it, so you can just download it. Then we're gonna go on to, so for Visual Studio, you're gonna go to visualstudio.microsoft.com, and here you are gonna go to downloads, then Visual Studio 2019. Then you're gonna download Visual Studio right here. You're gonna choose the version you want and download it. Now I already have Visual Studio downloaded as well, but it's that simple to get it. So once you have both Unity downloaded and Visual Studio downloaded, you're gonna install Unity, and once it's done, it's going to give you something like this here, Unity Hub. And once you open up Unity Hub, this is what you're gonna get. Now for me, I've got some of the projects I've been working on, but for you guys this part will be blank, and then you're gonna actually have to sign in. So it's gonna open and ask you to sign in. So you're gonna create a Unity account and then sign in, and then it's gonna bring you to a blank page here. Then you're gonna come down here, and then here on the installs, this is where you have got your Unity versions. So for my channel, we're going to be using 2019 through to 2020. 2019 because I still like the standard assets which are not in 2020. If you don't know what the standard assets are, we'll get into it and you'll know them. But basically, they're very useful assets, and since they're no longer supported in 2020, we're going to use 2019 and 2020 for some stuff, but 2019, yeah. So you can even install earlier versions if you prefer, and they will just work the same. Well, as long as you don't go too far back. I think 2018 through 2020 should be fine. All right. So now once you have this done, and Unity and Visual Studio as well done, let me open up Visual Studio here. So we have the softwares we need, and now it's time for us to just familiarize ourselves with Unity. For the first few tutorials, we're not going to do anything, any code, any actual like game stuff. We're just going to familiarize ourselves with the engine. That's very important if you are to become efficient with the engine. So we're going to familiarize ourselves with the engine. Then once we're familiar with the engine, we're going to get into creating a simple project. Maybe we'll make a car racing project or something else, we'll see. So we'll select Unity version 2019 here. Then we'll select the 3D. We could do 2D. 2D is basically, you know what 2D is. 3D is a 3D environment. 3D with extras, just comes with some extra stuff. Then the high definition render pipeline is basically what you can use for AAA titles. I think it actually says it. If you click on this information thing here, it will tell you This template utilizes the high definition render pipeline, making it a good starting point for people focused on high-end graphics that want to develop games for platforms that support shader mode 5.0. So AAA titles, if you want to create a very graphical based game, the high definition render pipeline is the one for you. Then the universal render pipeline template configures project settings for projects where performance, wide platform support, and ease of customizing graphics are primary considerations. So those are the, if you want to go for either of them, you can go for either of them. For the sake of this tutorial though, we're just going to go with 3D. We might make some 2D games down the line, but for now we're going to go with 3D, and then we're going to just say tutorial, then create. Once it does that, it's going to open up Unity. It takes some time the first time, but depending on how fast your PC is, it should be done fairly quickly. So I'm gonna get back with you guys once it is done. Alright, so now it's done, and once you've opened up your new Unity project, this is what it's gonna look like. And what you get is the directional light. From the people that I actually learned some of this stuff from, lighting is very important in games, so you have to get accustomed to the lighting. And we also get the main camera, which is rendering everything that we have in the scene. So we have this, which is the scene view, which is where you do all the editing and everything we do in the scene view. We've got the game view. The game view is basically what you're going to be seeing in game when you're playing the game. Then what I wanted is the asset store that we have in Unity version 18, 19, 20. It was moved, but some of the assets were also removed from 20, so that's why I wanted to use this. We're gonna get to the asset store soon enough when we are doing some different stuff. Then we're gonna get to the other stuff like the audio mixer when we are working on some audio stuff in the game. Alright, so over here we've got our hierarchy where we've got the main camera and stuff like that. And then on the side, when you select a game object, these are game objects. The main camera and directional light, those are game objects. So when you select a game object, over on the right, we've got the inspector, which gives us different information about the particular game object. So for instance, the main camera, we've got its transform. The transform is basically the position, the rotation, and the scale. So you can move it around and you can see that its position changes. Then let's just zero it out because we just gotta start from the middle. Then we've got the camera settings themselves. So we've got the skybox that is rendering, the background, everything else here. Usually I don't touch any of this stuff. For the main camera, I leave it just as is because it works fine. Then we've got the directional light. Now the directional light is what illuminates the whole scene. So it also has the same transform with rotation and everything. And if you wanted to make a day-night cycle, this is what you would use, the directional light. So we could rotate it and it could give different effects. You can see over on the horizon, when we rotate it on the Y, it's giving us something different. If we rotate it on the X, it gives us the whole day-night, morning cycle, everything. So you can see all that, and we even get the sun that we can see right there. So alright, enough of playing with the directional light. It also has some of its own settings here. The light type is a directional light because we wanted to illuminate the whole scene, but we've got different types of lights. We've got the spotlight, which just illuminates some certain area. We've got the point light. We've got the area baked only. I use direction and spot and point for inside buildings, but direction is what I use for everywhere else. So here we're gonna make this real time. Then it's got the intensity is how much light you're gonna get in the scene. If you increase it, you're gonna get more light. We don't have any objects for it to reflect off of, but if we had objects in the game, in the scene, that would reflect it. Would you would see the intensity of the light. Then we've got the color. You can change the color of the light, but for more realistic lighting, we're gonna leave it as is. So let's change that back to directional light, make it a bit of that. Then we've got shadows. We want soft shadows. You'll see why in a few when we add some stuff to this, and the rest of the stuff remains the same. Then down here we've got our project folder, and then we've got the assets and what we have in our project folder. And then next to it we've got the console. This is where you'll see errors that you have in the game. Oh yeah, mainly I use it to see errors myself. Then you've got the animations folder. This is where you can create some animations for different types of game objects. We'll get into those probably in the next tutorial, when we add some stuff to the scene. But for this, it was just getting started with Unity, so we have to familiarize ourselves with Unity before we begin to use it. So maybe I can explain a few more stuff, like this toolbar here. We've got this, which is to move around the scene like that. Then we've got this, which is to move the game objects, particular game objects. So select camera, move it around, select directional light, move it around. Then this rotates the particular game objects. It's just the same as rotating it from the transform, but this has got more. You can use whichever you prefer, to be honest. Yeah, but most people would use this because it's quicker and it's already in the scene. Then this is the scaling. Once you hold the middle part, it scales all axes, which is the X, Y, and Z. So, and then you can also scale them individually per axis. So the X is the red, the Y is the green, and the Z is the blue. Then this one, the rect 2. You're gonna see the use of it when we get to the canvas and creating some UI. It's really important as well. Then this is the move, rotate, and scale. So you've got this rotate and the scale all combined here, so you can scale the particular game object, and you can also rotate the particular game object. So as we're going to end this one, this was just to get you guys started with Unity, familiarize yourselves with with the Unity user interface. You can set it up however you want, depending on your preferences. Other people prefer to have the game tab like that next to the scene tab, so they can, what they edit, they can see it in real time in game. And then you can do whatever you want with it, as long as it's what makes you comfortable. You can change the layout of the user interface. So for this time, you guys have to practice familiarizing yourselves with Unity, getting Unity to look the way you want it to look. And then next episode, we're going to add some game objects and see what game objects Unity has and how we can use them. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new and want to get into game design and don't want to miss out on anything. I'm gonna be leaving some channels that you guys can check out to also like help you guys learn quicker in your game design journeys. Some of the channels that actually help me, I'm gonna be leaving some of them in the description, and I'm gonna be leaving all other links to also my other channel in the description. Alright, so this we're gonna end this one. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment what you wanna see, and I'll see you all in the next one.